You're listening to DrachenPod, the official podcast of DrachenFest US. Please share, like, review, and subscribe to help our community of champions grow. Learn more and secure your tickets for this incredible experience today at DrachenFest.us. DrachenFest US, the largest fantasy LARP event in the United States. Each June, more than 1,200 attendees spend 4 days in Pennsylvania, role-playing fantasy characters engaged in immersive gameplay, experiencing stories, celebrations, battles, and medieval life. You have answered the call, and your adventure begins with this episode of DrachenPod. Welcome to DrachenPod. This is the official podcast of DrachenFest US. We're your hosts. I'm Ryan Faricelli, the marketing coordinator for DrachenFest.
I'm Carie Varner. I'm the design lead for Limbus.
I'm Jason Hughes. I'm the Limbus coordinator.
And we are here to talk about DrachenFest, and this is our last show before the event, so we're all pretty exhausted.
Yeah.
We're tired, but we have a really cool guest today. His name is Matt Parrish.
Wait, he's the second for Blue Camp?
He's the Avatar's second for Blue Camp. So there are only a few NPCs in all of DrachenFest, and this guy is one of them. So we're going to spend some time with him and get to know what it means to be the Avatar's second, and we're also going to talk to him a little bit about the Reign of Blue and what they're going to do about it.
I'm really excited about Blue Camp having one last year. It's it was a real moment for sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I summon into the podcast the one whose camp is celebrating their first reign. The one who's actually number 2 in blue. The one whose camp is about to begin their fabulous reign. I call forth Matt Parrish.
Hey, Matt, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on.
We're excited. We've never had somebody as important as you before on the show.
I don't think we've ever talked to an NPC at all.
No.
Which is almost a dirty word at DrachenFest, NPC.
It's not that dirty of a word. Come on.
There's only like 10, right? There's the 5 avatars, and then the 5 avatar seconds is pretty much it, right? More or less.
Limbus doesn't
More or
count.
less. I mean, there's
Never
also guild. There's guild leads as well. There's individuals that are sprinkled throughout that are kind of that weird blend of player facing, but also staff. It's not just the Yellow Hat Canaries,
Sure.
the build team or the Limbus team.
But we are definitely an NPC light game. You know, as many people that attended.
100%. Yes, if we're going off of percentiles versus how many players are attending compared to how many NPCs are out there, yeah, it's very, very tight.
So Matt, before we get into the nuts and bolts of things of what you do for DrachenFest, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been LARPing for over 10 years now. I think I'm closer to 15 now if I'm doing the math right. What I do for a living, I work for a medical school. I do like the back end academic side of a medical school. That's fun, but more fun is the LARPing side of things.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by people who have incredibly creative hobbies, and then have jobs that are very academic or scholarly.
It's just more mundane.
We've got a lot of medical people, and we've had a lot of medical related people in DrachenFest.
Yeah, there is a lot of crossover in that, especially if it's either medical or, like you said, academic. There's a lot of crossover between the two. Maybe there's just something there that just calls to LARPing.
Yeah. So how did you find out about DrachenFest and become involved?
I got involved all thanks to the current Blue Avatar, and the Blue Avatar from year 0 is Dan Sangupta. He was like, hey, I have this project that I've been asked to help out with. They're looking for new folks. Would you want to throw in an application for it? And I said, yeah, sure. Him and I, we go back. I met him at my very first LARP, and he kind of took me underneath his wing and showed me the ropes. So
You actually had to fill out an application to become an Avatar's second.
yeah, I filled in an application. I interviewed with the head ref at the time, and it was a pretty good interview. Turns out we actually ended up going to the same college. So
Oh wow, that's funny.
yeah, right. Small world. It's very small world. How that happened.
What kind of question do you get in an interview for an Avatar second?
I was just thinking that.
How good are you at wrangling both the cats and the cat owner?
Oh, because that's part of your job, right? Is to
Yes.
wrangle, like quote unquote, wrangle the avatar.
Yes, there's a lot of avatar wrangling as well as making sure that the rest of the camp is on task. And by on task, I mean they're having fun, making sure they're up and active and having fun. But yes, a lot of avatar wrangling. They need to be in a lot of places on a very tight schedule, and I help make sure that the blue avatar is where he needs to be.
Let's dig into that just a little bit. On one hand, there is a pretty strong in-game, like an in-character element where you are playing a character that is an NPC, but it is there to support the avatar of Blue Camp. But also, there is a very complicated out-of-game part that folks maybe don't know is happening behind the scenes as well. Can you clue us in a little bit on this?
The seconds, they're supposed to be the mortal, perfect embodiment, and I'm using perfect in quotes here, of each camp's tenants. Obviously, that's going to look different and play out different depending on who's the second and what embodiments they're going to lean into more or less. Now, for the more out-of-game stuff, behind-the-scenes stuff, it's a lot of keeping up with all of the plots that are going on, making sure that plot information gets out to the players in the correct way, where it's not too heavy-handed, but it's a, hey, this would be a really fun thread to pull on. I think you guys would enjoy it kind of stuff, rather than you have to do this. We're not the traditional NPCs in a video game with a big exclamation point over your head saying, all right, talk to me and get coins and EXP. It's more so getting the fun plot stuff out in a much more organic way.
Would you say that you are the closest thing to a traditional kind of storyteller in DrachenFest?
That is a really good question, and if I'm gonna say actually no,
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it on its head. Where sure, there's that traditional sense in some aspects of it, but a lot of it is also being reactive to the players. If the players are kind of going off the rails, but it can somehow be related to an original quest idea, sure, why not? Let's just do a slight little pivot, get them not really on track, but we're on their track now. But it makes it in a way where it works and it's fun for everyone.
How does that differ from like the lead ref of the camp?
Lead ref is more the final say in things. So when it comes to, hey, we want to go do this really intense ritual, right? Or this really risky thing. That is where like the lead ref would kind of have final jurisdiction on those matters. And especially as well as kind of corresponding between, let's say it is this crazy off the rails plot line. They would then contact the plot team and state, all right, hey, head plot ref, things are getting a little wacky down in Blue Camp. What do you think about this?
How does that interact then on the other side of it? Loosey-goosey, you're sort of like the in-between between the ref system that runs throughout the rest of the game and the avatar.
On the avatar side, on the out of game aspect of that, I'm hooked up to communications, right? I have a walkie-talkie. I'm hearing what's going on. I'm hearing that chattering. I'm feeding that information to the avatar to give them that omnipotent feeling.
Oh, that's
Right?
cool.
I thought it was just you helped them get through doors.
That is. I recant everything I just said. That is the most important thing: is getting them through doors. Those wings are.
If you've not been to DrachenFest, the avatars all wear these giant shoulder pads that are kind of evocative of the wings
Where?
of dragons.
You mean manifest?
They manifest.
Yeah.
And sometimes they manifest them off, and then they are halfway out of their camp, and you realize, Avatar, you seem to be missing something, so I have to go rush off and fetch their wings.
It's good. What's unique about being a second in Blue Camp as opposed to one of the other camps?
What makes being a blue second different, at least from my understanding, because I have not had the chance to play a second in a different camp, is that Blue Camp's structure and vibe, sense of command is not in a traditional sense of there's a clear hierarchy, because the whole freedom aspect of Blue Camp, it seems to be a lot more individual independence, but so long as they're not ruining the fun for everyone else. And especially the role and how I approach with individuals. It's never coming out of, I am the second, so therefore you must do X, Y, and Z. No, 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 no. It's much more of a, hey, how you doing, buddy? I'm here to have fun just like you. I'm part of the ship, part of the crew just like you. And it's a lot less formal.
I love that you referred to all the other blue players as part of the crew.
That's how we do it. We call the Avatar captain. He is, the blue Avatar is the captain, so we're all just part of the crew.
That's a big ship.
It is a big ship, especially if you come to Blue Camp, you come to our gates, you will see that it looks like a crashed ship upon the shore. That's the whole part of it. Climb on board.
That's wonderful. You won last year, which means you are celebrated as the winner during this DrachenFest. But the winner is named at the very end of each DrachenFest event. So this year is the Reign of Blue.
Yay!
That is correct. We won. I was shocked that we won.
Oh.
I was not expecting that.
All
Last
blue
year was
campers, remember, he did not know y'all were going to win.
Yeah, no, we did not know. We did not expect that. But we were very happy to see a blue win.
So, wait, why did you not expect blue to win?
Last year, for those that did not attend or aren't aware of it, last year was very difficult because of weather. There was a lot of what?
That's not
which actually
no one has talked about the weather at all. That's crazy.
Okay, all right, great. I get to be the first.
It's crazy talk.
Which honestly, hey, maybe these storms were a good omen of Blue's victory, if you spin it that angle. But because of the weather, it made it very difficult for people to fully engage at all times because there were some timeouts, some game offs in order to make sure everybody's safe, which that comes first. Safety comes first way before fun. Then fun comes afterwards.
But it does limit the number of sieges and battles that can happen.
Exactly. It limits the opportunities for individuals and camps to gain eggs. So because of this start-stop, Blue Camp being blue said, you know what, screw it. We're just going to have fun instead. We're not going to focus on the win, right? We're just going to have fun. We're here to have fun. We're here to hang out with our friends. We're here to be to sing and party and make merry. And that's what they did. And somehow, doing what Blue Camp does best, manifested a win.
That's great.
Do you know any of the specifics on how you all won? Was there a story involved in the win? We'd love to
I
hear.
think they won the most eggs. That's how it is.
Is that how it works?
What's the special sauce? Spill.
So it was around Friday afternoon. We noticed a couple more eggs trickling in, right? Quests coming to the completion. And it was Friday night. A quest that I had no idea was actually on Blue Camp's radar. I believe it was from the Thieves Guild.
Hey, wait. There's no such thing as the Thieves Guild.
Right, I'm sorry.
There
Yes.
is no Thieves Guild.
It is from
Someplace.
an anonymous benefactor. A whole bunch of individuals came in saying, we work with the anonymous benefactor. And we've brought glory. I'm like, wait, there was this going on as well. For those that aren't aware of that happened last year, there was an entire plot line regarding the moon going missing. And Blue Camp was heavily involved with that. So we have Blue Camp making an artificial fake moon. Conspiracy theorists went nuts over that. It was just so many little things of people just saying, I'm going to go have my own fun. I'm going to go do my own thing. Ended up bringing in victory for Blue Camp. And I found that as this, in a camp of freedom and of independence and of exploration, they got to go out and do all those things and still fulfill that other tenet of Blue Camp, being greedy. Bringing home victory. Bringing home glory.
Was this the first time Blue has ever won?
Yes, this is Blue's first win. Blue Camp not had the opportunity to taste victory and celebrate a win, so this is going to be a very, very, very rowdy year down in Blue Camp because it is the reign of Blue.
Did Blue Camp win the final battle?
Blue Camp also did win the final battle.
Okay.
Oh.
And from my understanding, that is what pushed us over the edge to give us that win. It was very tight at that point, score-wise. And it was, we bested our allies. We allied last year with Red Camp, making the Crimson Tide. And it was Red and Blue were the last two on the battlefield.
Wow.
And they had an honorable battle. And Blue Camp came out on top.
That's amazing. The only reason I ask that is because I do know that the math works out in such a way that winning the final battle can be very, very important and integral to winning. But also there are enough quests and plots and other ways to acquire eggs that it is not uncommon for a camp to win to win the entirety of DrachenFest, but not be the first place in the final battle.
That is correct. You can win DrachenFest and still lose the final battle. You can win DrachenFest and never siege a camp if you're really good at wheeling and dealing and doing other types of quests. This game is not just a battle game. There's a lot of battling going on. There's a ton of battling, but it's not just a battle game. There's plenty to do elsewhere, and there are other ways to see victory.
Which is great for me because I hate the idea of 20-year-old muscle giants thwapping my 52-year-old butt with a foam sword. I don't look forward to that. I'm old and cranky, and it makes me unhappy and hurt.
He is cranky.
You are preaching to the choir. I completely understand that. If you asked Matt even 5 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, I love throwing on armor and going into battle. Now I'm gonna lay back. I'll be an advisor. I'll be
But it's
I'll be
also
a diplomat.
it's also one of the cool things about DrachenFest, though, because it means that if you're someone like me who is not actually as interested in the physicality of the combats and the buffers, that there are still things that you can do that are just as integral to winning.
Oh, exactly. Like I said, with the anonymous benefactor, that isn't a combat role. That isn't rushing into battle in, plate armor, screaming, glory to blue. It's doing something completely different and completely outside of the view of most individuals. And yet it still brings in, with how tight the score was last year, every point count.
Blue won, though. What does that mean? What happens now?
Well, yes, because Blue Camp won and it's our first time winning, lore-wise, there's that great vast sea because the dragons kind of did a reset to their world. An island dedicated to Blue Camp now gets to emerge from the depths. So now Blue Camp has a forever home within the Dragonlands. And I'm aware of a lot of players who their characters really wanted that. So a very big win for these personal plot lines of these player characters saying, okay, great, I now have a forever home because they're playing outcasts or exiles. So
Sure.
On that end, very emotional, they're very ecstatic about that. In terms of DrachenFest itself, that is a forever 24/7 dive bar now that people can go and visit and have a wonderful time.
As the Avatar's second, do you kind of keep a pulse on the players of Blue Camp between games?
I occasionally lurk. Some would suggest don't lurk. Some would suggest completely leave it alone. But I occasionally lurk just to keep the vaguest of pulse, to make sure that pulse is still there.
Sure. And have you heard anything? Is there anything that you could share?
What I am a little privy to is the opening ceremony. So with each dragon's victory, the winning dragon, the ruling dragon, does a unique opening ceremony where it could be song, dance, a combination of all these things. And Blue Camps is shaping up to be uniquely blue.
Wonderful.
I can't wait. I love opening ceremonies. I literally get emotional every year. I use my little bit of privilege by being, all the refs and like green hats and orange hats get to go sit down right in front of the edge so they get a perfect view. And I use that little bit of privilege every year because I love the opening ceremony so much.
I hope it's a sea shanty.
I hope
You may be in love.
I'm hoping for clowns.
Oh yeah, we just talked to the blue lead.
Clown singing a sea shanty. Oh.
You also may be in luck. I can't believe this.
You all have won and you get to celebrate during the week and stuff, but that also means that you have a title to defend.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Blue will be having fun. Blue will be partying, but Blue will still be Blue. Blue will still get that streak of greed and say, you know what? I want to go take a banner. So they're going to go rally up because we got a whole bunch of folks that are eager to go fight, and they're going to go march on somebody, and then they're going to hopefully kick in those gate doors and take a banner.
So do you think Blue can do it 2 years in a row?
Can we do the back-to-back?
Can you back to back it?
Do the back-to-back. I would say if any camp can back-to-back it, I do think it would be Blue. We definitely have not just the numbers, and numbers definitely do not mean as much as you'd think it may mean in this kind of game.
You would think there's strength in numbers, but actually when you have more characters, it's a lot harder to wrangle them.
Exactly. It is way too many cats to herd. So, but Blue, seeing how Blue just being Blue, right? these players just following their own quests and their own personal plot lines, and yet coming back with eggs and with wonderful stories. More importantly, sure, the eggs, that's nice. It's nice to win, but they get to tell us these fun stories, and they have these big smiles on their faces, and all of that still coming into a victory. Yeah, I think we can do it. I think we could do too.
We love stories, and so we would like to know, what is the coolest, funnest way that you all got an egg last year?
For last year's eggs, what is the best egg story? I would say then the best would be how Blue Camp received an egg for their assistance in finding and making an artificial moon. I remember seeing our crafters, so Blue Camp last year, if you walked into the gates, you looked off to the left-hand side, we had this large setup for all of our crafters, and it was all types of different types of work. We have a live forge, so there was metalworking there, but it was also a lot of leather workers. And I remember seeing people work into the very, very early mornings, hours, crafting away at a replicant moon. It was made of leather strips, and it was all tied together, and it had these different etchings and paintings in it. And they went from camp to camp, though, and had each camp make their own strip all to put together. So it wasn't just like a blue thing. It became a festival-wide thing. And seeing so much effort, seeing so much skill, and seeing so much love be put into this, and bringing folks together from every single different camp, and also including the bazaar, if I remember correctly, it then led to this really great story of, okay, I believe actually at first it was supposed to be an artificial moon, like a fake moon, a replicant, and then they found the original moon, so they ended up encasing the original moon in this leather, almost like armor, to protect it so it's never stolen again.
Oh, that's
so it
cool.
tells this really cool, unique story.
I didn't know that part. That's fascinating.
That is.
Yeah, you might need to run that then by the plot team, because
No. It's too late. It's too late.
Well,
it's out there in the open. Cheers.
let me ask another question about eggs. We do have a plot team, and so the plot team does make sure that each camp has a few different quests and things that they can actually do that are possible to get an egg from. But is there a process by which someone can say, hey, this whole camp came together and did this really wild, awesome thing that's huge and important and was totally unexpected and doesn't necessarily have anything specific to do with any of those plots? Is there a possibility for an egg to be rewarded for this?
Yeah, that is totally possible with DrachenFest. That's actually one of my favorite things about this game, is that if the players are having fun, putting in effort, getting other people involved, like it's not clearly just one camp trying to push something for their own benefit, but they're trying to get other camps and other people involved, that can become something worthy of an egg. That can become quote unquote plot. That can become big events. And it's that kind of freedom that this game allows players is what leads to amazing stories and bonds being made and friendships being made that last forever. Some of my best friends I've met through this game.
Jason told us something interesting about you, Matt, that happened in year 3. Jason, do you want to ask him about it?
So I know that because of personal stuff, nothing bad, that there had to be a change for the Blue Avatar one year, and it was while people were driving to the event. Can you talk about that?
Yes, I can talk about that. Yes. So like you said, there were some last minute, nothing bad, actually wonderful things.
Yes.
But some last minute events that caused for quite a bit of a scramble for the avatars. And so while I was driving, I'm based out of New York City. I'm in Queens.
New York
while I'm-
City?
Yeah, New York City, the big city, pizzas, bagels. Hey, I'm walking here. So while I'm driving, I get a phone call, and so I pull over and I take the call, and it's our head ref, Reese, and saying, "Hey, there's been some changes." And I said, "Okay, that's interesting. Hopefully, good stuff. Yeah, it's some good stuff, but we're gonna need you to put on the wings." And I said, "Oh, okay, no problem."
You were supposed to just be the second that year as well?
Correct. Yes, I was supposed to be the second. So I hang up. I then instantly call the Blue Avatar and I say, "Hey, buddy, I guess I'm in your wings." And so I was fortunate enough to meet up with the Blue Avatar and gather some very good insight, a very great pep talk from the captain, and drove through the night, arriving bright and early at wonderful Cooper's Lake, and the show was on the road. It was showtime. I was the Blue Avatar, and it was a wonderful, wonderful time. It was a great year. It was a hot year. That was the year of the Heat Dome,
Yep.
but it was still a lot of fun, and I learned a lot playing that role.
I remember because the Blue Avatar is pretty beloved, as all the avatars are. But I know that Blue Camp certainly has a special spot in their heart for their avatar, and they loved you so much. I heard more than one person talking about that you really stepped up and did an amazing job, and it was almost like you were having this out of body experience where you were really manifesting the avatar, and they were really impressed and thrilled.
I love my camp. They're so kind. They're
They
too
love
kind.
you. They really do. I don't know if it's different when, like, if a member of your camp said, "Hey, we love you, man," but I want you to tell you behind your back, they love you. They talk about you and the avatar all the time and how great you are.
I love them. The Avatar loves them. You know, we love them. It's I always say, and I use this for a lot of things, is I'm just a mirror. So if you like what you see, you're actually just looking at yourself. And I just reflect the energy that Blue Camp gives me back. I mean, in regards to taking up the mantle of the Avatar and really embodying it, you know, the Avatar is dancing up to my LARP mentor. So I've known this man for a while, so I know his mannerisms. So I can kind of just copy them a little bit, add a little bit of my own Matt flair to it, and make something similar and familiar enough, but also unique, right? If you're a year one or a year two player, you go, oh yeah, okay, sure, it looks a little different, but it's the Blue Avatar. And if you're brand new to it, you go, that's the Blue Avatar, and I like this. This is enjoyable.
It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
Thank you. No, I'm honored. I do not deserve these kind words. Thank you.
Now for the question everyone always waits for.
Yes.
I've been waiting for this.
I know
Yeah.
you have been. I know. Can you tell us about your very first LARP character?
Especially if it's
Oh my-
embarrassing.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So my first LARP character was a mercenary. He was a mercenary in a game where it's a high fantasy game, and he comes from a land heavily inspired clearly by like Scandinavia, right? So he's kind of like a Viking. I need to do an accent when I roleplay. If I don't, I just feel like I'm Matt. So I roll up to this game.
Matt, I hate to break it to you, but you do have an accent.
Yes, okay, yes, I have a New York accent. I'm very well aware of that. It's a strong one, and I apologize for my strong New York accent. but-
No, I think that's a great one for the Blue Avatar second.
I do not use that one though for the second. I use something completely different, and I butcher it, but it's still.
What
fun.
is it? What is it? What accent do you do?
Oh boy. Okay, here we go.
Let's get this
So
on
for
official
the-
record.
So for the blue second for Danton, that's the character's name.
Oh, that
I
was my
do an
question.
Irish accent, or at least I attempt to do an Irish accent.
Okay.
Very funny. I was going to originally do a French accent, but the Blue Avatar has a French accent, and I did not want to steal his style. So I said, all right, well, I'm panicking on the spot because I was unaware that it was going to be French. So I went into my pocket. The first thing that came out was Irish. I said, okay, I guess we're doing Irish then.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
But for my first LARP character, so I roll up to this game with a Slavic accent because I can't do a Scandinavian accent. So I'm trying to do this Slavic accent. I come with my friend, and within 5 minutes of arriving, my friend's playstyle and my playstyle are completely different things. They want to go be a good person. They want to go be a paladin and fight for truth and justice. And I just want to be a scummy mercenary. So we end up splitting up. I am by myself. It's my first LARP. I'm not really sure how to engage with people. And lo and behold, a whole bunch of orcs roll up. And they ask, can you read? And I said, duh, I can read. And they said, good. Can you write? Duh, I can write as well. I am men of letters. Good. Does this look like a good contract? They were mercenaries as well. So I'm like, yeah, this is a fair deal. They said, great. You're with us now. You're our accountant. And that is how I got into LARPing. That is my first LARP character. He became an accountant. And that orc who was telling me, hey, you're the accountant, that was the Blue Avatar.
That's amazing.
That is how I met him. That is how we became friends.
I love that.
That is one of the things we keep hearing over and over and over again about DrachenFest is it in so many ways it really is the Olympics of LARP. Like all of the most wonderful LARPers that any of us have ever met or played with all seem to end up there, and it's so wonderful.
It really is a star-studded cast, and even if you're new to LARPing, though, you are a star, whether you
Yes.
realize it or not. I think it's just because everybody is so inclusive and all about that yes and part of LARPing that everybody's at their A game.
It's amazing. Well, Matt, thank you so much for spending time with us. We really, really appreciate you and everything that you do for Blue Camp. And as an Avatar second, we know that it is a sleepless 4 days in Cooper's
Yes.
Lake.
Goodness.
But we really do appreciate and thank you for the work that you do. And also thanks for telling us a little bit about what it's like behind the scenes. It's super fascinating.
It's a labor of love. And thank you guys. Thank all three of you for what you do for DrachenFest as well. Making these really fun podcasts for people to tune into, really drives up the hype, and gives also insight for the game too. Thank you.
Aw, thank you. You're now my favorite.
Oh man, Matt was awesome.
As always.
Excellent.
I like blue.
At least for this year.
At least
Yeah,
this
so
year.
right now I'm just siding with the winners.
That's very you.
Yeah.
All right, so I have our final question.
Oh, it's the last one.
The last question
All right.
before
Wait, this is the last
Drachenfest.
episode?
This is the last
the very
episode.
I
last
gotta
one?
start reading the notes.
It's too late.
It's too late. It's too late now.
Next year.
We're doing this again?
I don't know. Are we?
I don't
Okay.
know.
What's your question?
Okay, well, my question now is, are we doing this again? No, my question is, what are you most excited for this Drachenfest?
Oh wow. There's so much.
So I have two things. One is Olympus Secret that we can't talk about, but I think everybody's going to be really excited because it's the project that you and Ryan have been working on this year.
Yeah,
to
I'm
bring to the
really
game.
excited about it, too.
And I think it's going to be really cool. Everybody walk by the Olympus and you'll know how cool
And
Ryan
come
and Carie are.
and come tell Cole how cool it is.
I think you
'Cause
can.
I want to hear.
I think you could. I think you could say that the project involves the entrance to Limbus.
Yeah,
So if you
it-
walk by
yeah.
it, you'll see it.
Yeah, if you walk by, you'll see it. If you go to opening ceremonies, you will see it.
That's true. We're so close.
Yeah, we're right across the road now. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
The Great Ritual Circle moved.
Yep. And that means that a lot of other things are going to be down there next to us too, by default.
Yeah. All right. So what is the other thing that you are excited about? The thing you can talk about.
So, every year I go to DrachenFest, and it's like a convention, right? Sure. You have convention friends. And this year, because I've been doing it for 5 years, I've reached that kind of critical mass of where I have, like, my DrachenFest family. These are the people I only see once a year. And I've gotten to the point where that's one of the things that brings me back, is I love getting to see the people I only get to see then and getting to be that person that exists there. I've got one other thing, and hopefully it's part of what Ryan's thing is too. I'm excited because he exited my team, which has very strict rules about when you can play and things like that, and he now is in charge of marketing. He's going to get to play, and I'm excited to see what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
What about you, Carie?
Well, I agree with you on the whole the Limbus secret. I'm very excited about
me
it.
too.
And then I've got two things I'm really excited for.
Ooh.
I have been trying really, really hard this year because I have bad knees.
Yes.
And so I have been trying to get my endurance up a little bit.
You've been
and-
walking a
and
bunch and doing yoga again,
I
right?
have been just trying to, because I want to make the circuit. I've
Yes.
never done it.
Yeah.
And I want to make the circuit. And then the second thing is my daughter, Dakota, has some, because she's graduated from Drake Academy.
She's got those big plans.
And now she has these big plans, and she's kind of was like, do you think maybe your character could help me with this plan? And like watching her like plot
And scheme.
and scheme is like really kind of like, as like a LARPer, I'm like, that's my baby.
Chip off the old block.
Oh, so like that's, I'm excited for that. What about you, Ryan?
I mean, Jason is right. Like the thing I'm most excited about is actually being able to play a lot more this year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be able to exclusively play. There's still a lot that I'm going to be having to do as far as, with marketing stuff. We have
Marketing never stops.
Right. And we have a lot of things that we have to be, prepared for next year. We have to take pictures and photos and things of what happens this year, right? And so,
Yeah.
so there is, I'm not going to have 100% free time, but like I'm going to go from having like 5% free time to, probably half of my time.
Yeah, 50%.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of excited about getting to play, but specifically about getting to play, there is a prop that I am making for my character that I am exceptionally excited about.
Wait, I don't know about this.
It looks really good.
Is it the...
You do know. So I am playing. I can tell people this. I'm playing a were-rat.
Right.
And so it is my character's rat form, and that's what I'll say about it. And that is the thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited about getting to bring that to to see that finished and bring it into play and have some fun with it. So
I think that's going to be really good.
yeah, I'm excited.
Everybody, Ryan's character is going to be in Green Camp. Get him. I mean,
you don't. If the best way to, I heard the best way to get in pictures is to kill the marketing director. No.
you heard that, Tab. Follow him around. We're going to get him mobbed.
Anyway, thank you to everybody for listening to this show. DrachenPod has been a really exciting, cool little experiment for us and for DrachenFest, and it seems like it has worked really well, and we hope that everyone who's listened has had a good time with it. If you're coming to DrachenFest, please make sure that you die, go through Limbus, see everything that Jason and Carie have been working on, and have a great time in Limbus. It's lots of fun, and I hope that if you see me out and play, that you don't kill me. So there we go. DrachenFest is coming up. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also subscribe to it on YouTube. Otherwise, we are going to see you all very soon at DrachenFest.